welcome back to the coffee bar. This is your favorite bartender, 85 Cup of Coffee, and we're here to overview season 2, episode 5 of The Boys. And boy, oh boy, did it get wild! I loved it. This right here is a little drink that I'm sipping on. We're just gonna actually call it The Boys. It's really good. It has passion fruit due to the interesting content at the end of this episode, and actually some V8 splash and a few other ingredients that I'll include in the description. And also check out my Facebook page at Feel More Coffee or Drink More Coffee, and you can actually check out the ingredients to this drink. So that being stated, that being stated, let's get down to this episode and break it down. So there's a lot going on, of course, in every episode. It's definitely a well-written show where it does interweave a lot of things. First things first is all the Easter eggs, and I would say deep cuts to the real world situations. You'll see why I said the deep cuts here in a few moments. But in any case, we start off with Homelander kind of messing with Queen Maeve. They're doing this whole, I would call it's called Dawn of the Seven. They're filming this movie called Dawn of the Seven, but I feel like it's kind of a jab at Dawn of Justice, the Superman versus Batman, and then also the Justice League movie. That's what it kind of seems like. So I kind of like the way that they're kind of jabbing at them. And Homelander is actually in the director's chair, and he did some rewrites, kind of some Whedon rewrites. And if you know everything that's going on with Ray Fisher and Josh Whedon and Warner Brothers, then you'll know why I said that. But yeah, he's actually kind of forcing Maeve to come out on camera, which she had no intentions on doing, and she's definitely not feeling it. It looks terrible. As a matter of fact, it doesn't look genuine at all, and she's just kind of like, in the movie, like, I'm gay, and it just comes across terrible. And I think it's on purpose by Homelander. And Maeve actually approaches him and is like, when are you gonna stop this? Like, I'll stop seeing Elena if you just like lay off. And he's like, I'm just trying to help you out. And he's just being a butt about the whole situation. And of course Maeve isn't having it. And we fast forward, and the PR machine that Vault is, they're trying to spin Elena and Maeve's image to kind of fit what they want to say and fit, what Americans accept and quote unquote don't accept. And Elena's, she's just not having it. She's like, I'm not under contract. I don't work for y'all. And so it's just a whole bunch of things. Homelander is on purpose, like, causing friction between Maeve and her girlfriend. So we got that going on. Then moving over to another one of the 7, A-Train, he's kind of dealing with being kicked off the team. And they basically tell him, hey, in the movie, you're going to be like, this is your ride into the sunset. This is your last movie. We're going to be saying you're basically cut from the team. And he doesn't want to do it, but they're basically like, well, if you don't want to do it, guess what? We'll just tell the whole world you've been shooting up on Compound V, and that's why you're hard, and that's why you can't run. And so, reluctantly, he falls into place and does what he has to do there. So that's going on. On to another one of the 7. You see Starlight and Stormfront actually having a kind of a confrontation. It's kind of like catty type things that Stormfront is doing to Starlight. And of course Stormfront is powerful, so she doesn't intimidate easy, and Starlight tries, but it doesn't work. And she basically is talking to Starlight's mom, and she's like reaching out, and basically Stormfront, now she knows that Starlight leaked the Compound V and everything. And so Starlight's kind of dealing with that now that they've leaked everything, and she thought she was rid of everybody who knew, which was A-Train at the time. But yeah, Stormfront does know, and she tries to threaten her by saying, I'll let everybody know that you're Liberty, and Stormfront just kind of shrugs it off like, so what? So moving on from that little thing that's going on, we got Homelander actually, I honestly and truly think it was a jab at police brutality, because Homelander actually lands in a different country. He doesn't consult the PR machine that is Vault or Edgar or anybody. He goes overseas, and there's supposed to be the super terrorist that they call him, and Homelander basically taunts him, and he shoots right through him with a laser. But in doing so, he actually kills one of the bystanders, and he doesn't even realize it because he comes down, he kills the guy, and he like, "You're welcome," and flies off. But for all his powers, he could have definitely subdued that guy without killing him. But of course he didn't, and it's actually filmed on the phone, and his approval rating starts to drop. So in that happening, he actually the lady that's actually running for office, she's actually saying what else is Bot lying to us about, and she has a rally, and Homelander shows up, and you think he's gonna lose his cool and just beam everybody, and it looks like as if he does. Small spoiler, it's in his mind. He does actually beam one of the soldiers when they start kind of turning against him at the rally, and he beams like people in the crowd, and everybody starts running. But it's all in his head, and he is really having a hard time because in the last episode he was all like, I don't care if anybody likes me, and it's obvious that he does. He does want the people to like him. For all his faults, he does want to be a hero in his own way. He just goes about it the wrong way because he's been spoiled, and he's a man child, so he's been spoiled all his life because of his power, and he basically can get away with everything. And now it's kind of coming back to bite him because everybody doesn't see the thing the way that he sees it. So that's what's going on with him. And Stormfront is like, hey, you know what? I can help you with this. And she already has memes actually already in place to actually show that, it was fake, it was staged, this, that, and the other, all of this. So she's already trying to help him out, and where he was like, he didn't need her help or whatnot, but he does. He needs a way to sway the people a little bit more, and Vault isn't doing a good job because he's kind of going outside of what they want him to do. So all of that's going on. Now to the boys, on some of the things that are going on with the boys, and we're going to come back to Homelander and Stormfront here in a second, but to the boys, we got Frenchie following the female, Kimiko, and she is like, she is actually, it looks like she's on a mission, which we find out later, she is actually on a mission. And Frenchie's kind of following her, and he's like trying to see what she's up to. Man, she goes into this, I want to say Albanian meeting place, and dude, she just lays carnage to everybody. Like, she literally rips off this guy's face, which is actually a scene directly from the comics. And she rips off this guy's face from ear all the way across. Then she commences to break the next guy's neck, and then she kills the other guy with his own gun without even shooting. She like tanks like 5 shots without even flinching, and then kills him with the gun by gun butting him. So it's actually like she's unstoppable in these. And Frenchie finds out that she's basically on the payroll, and she's basically an assassin. And he's trying to understand her, and she like wigs out on him in the sign language that her and her brother used to do. And Frenchie's basically fed up. I think they're gonna come back around to this relationship. But he's fed up. He's like, F you, you won't teach. I want to understand, but you won't teach me your language, and you're just so closed off from me. So you know what? I'm done with you. You do what you want to do. And so he leaves. He's upset, and he leaves. And Kimiko is, you can tell she's bothered by this because Frenchie's been pretty much the one that's been helping her out the whole time. And yeah, she's kind of bothered. She takes the money from the lady that was featured in the last episode that was like Frenchie's other girlfriend or whatnot. But yeah, she's not happy about the whole situation. So moving forward, we got Butcher, Mother's Milk, and Huey that have an interaction. We actually get to meet some of Butcher's family, his aunt, as a matter of fact, and the dog Terror, directly from the comics. He's actually in this episode as well. So we find out that Butcher is actually, he's kind of he's kind of in a weird place right now. You know, he finds out that Becca is alive, and he thinks that, you know, they're gonna basically run away together, and that's not gonna happen at this point because of several reasons. Ryan being one of the bigger reasons, but he's in a weird place right now, and he tells Huey that he's his canary, and he actually, he actually is very nice to Huey, but at the same time kind of giving off vibes like, you know, he's ready to give up on everything. And so him and Mother's Milk go and find Butcher, and they let him know, hey, we're not going nowhere. We're here for you. You know, we understand that, you know, everything isn't working out as best as it could. And while they're having this whole brotherly moment between all of the three of them trying to get Butcher to come back around, they find out that Black Noir has been tracking Butcher. So we saw that in the last episode, and it's going to culminate here. And man, so they set up traps for Black Noir. They actually try to stave him off by having the public come around. They actually do a fake like gas leak in all the houses. But of course they all leave because there's no actual gas leak, and it gives them time to set up booby traps. So they set up like 3 different bombs, and you just hear Black Noir like stalking them. Like you hear the footsteps walking through, and you hear the bombs go off. And dude, he's just like walking through them. It's not bothering him at all. And we saw that Black Noir can soak a lot of damage without flinching, and it's no different here. So Butcher tries to go up and tries to do the self-sacrificing thing, and Mother's Milk and Huey are not letting him go out by himself. And basically, Butcher outsmarts Black Noir. He basically tells them, hey, you know what? I got pictures of Ryan and Becca, and I'm gonna expose your little secret. Excuse me. I'm gonna expose your little secret if, you know, you don't let us go. And Edgar actually comes on the phone, calls Black Noir. He's like, hey, is this really true? Do you really got pictures? And he's like, yeah. And he basically negotiates, hey, I'll call Black Noir off if those pictures never see the light of day, because they don't want anybody to know that Homelander has an illegitimate son and what all came of it. So in any case, Black Noir lets him go. They definitely did not have a chance at all against Black Noir, because he walked through the bombs without a problem. He like backhands Butcher without even looking at him and almost knocks him out cold. So I mean, they didn't have a chance, but luckily Butcher again outsmarts the more powerful people, and you know, they're let go. So the good news is Butcher is back, kinda back, and I'm not gonna say he's fully where he needs to be, but you know, he's not on the whole self-destructive path, I don't think, at this point by the end of the episode. And he recognizes that Huey means a lot to him, even though he acts like he doesn't. And we find out in the episode, I'm gonna let you all watch it, on why Huey and him do connect. They actually do hit a little bit of backstory for Butcher on why they do connect so well or whatnot. And so all this is happening, and at the end of this episode, I feel like In Vogue's Don't Let Go should have been playing, because finally we get to see the scene where if you watch some of the previews, you see Homelander like lasering Stormfront's chest, and it's because it's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith / superhero sex scene. It's crazy. Like they are like hitting each other and then throwing each other through walls and lasering each other and flying. It's absolutely a nut scene, but it's really intense at the same time. But I would imagine if superheroes had a 50 Shades of Grey, this is what it would be, because it was like I said, they were lasering each other, and it was crazy. But yeah, you find out Stormfront does heal very, very quickly, as a matter of fact, through this scene. And she's pretty powerful. As a matter of fact, she knows she's not it's obvious she's not as powerful as Homelander, but she is definitely very powerful. And man, it's crazy they show all of this through this quote unquote sex scene, and you gotta see it for yourself. I definitely recommend this episode. It definitely peels back a lot more layers on what's going on, which every episode does. I think we got 3 or 4 more episodes. I will be covering the rest of them. You guys remember, like, share, subscribe, comment at the bottom. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what other shows or movies you all want me to cover. I've been actually watching this one movie that was that's actually slated to come out today, Antebellum. So it's interesting to say the least, but I might be covering that one. I do want to let you all know some really good news. Harley Quinn is actually been renewed for season 3 for HBO Max, so that's a good thing. Scream 5 actually has some updates, as a matter of fact, so check that out. So Scream 5 is moving forward. The Batman, the good news behind that is Robert Pattinson has been cleared of COVID-19, so they're up and running again on that. We just got a lot of good news as far as movies and shows are going on. So y'all let me know what else you all would like to see. Again, please hit that subscribe and that bell button down at the bottom. This has been your favorite bartender, A5 Cup of Coffee, and we're out.